to mine. Should old acquaintance be forgot, and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet, for days of old lang syne. We twa run about the braes and put the gower.
It's the 366th and final day in this leap year, 2020, the International Year of the Nurse and the Midwife. 2020 is also the International Year of Plant Health. This is the 254th and final edition of Both Sides of the Story for the year 2020. And 2021 kicks in tomorrow, all things being well. This is the eve of 2021. It's New Year's Eve. Hoy es jueves, el 31 de diciembre 2020. Y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
I'll be mine, and we'll take a cup o' kindness yet, for old lang syne.
C'est jeudi le 31 décembre 2020 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet, for old lang syne.
All we're saying is it's New Year's Eve, this 31st and final day of the 12th and final month of this leap year 2020. And we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never, ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
We'll talk a cup.
The European Union has been partnering with the Jamaican government to improve access to justice and has provided ICT equipment to 78 courtrooms to further modernize court proceedings. The time by the European Union is
2:15.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and
It's bank holiday in El Salvador and Yemen, commemoration of the restoration in St. Sylvester in Switzerland, Day of Azeri Solidarity in Azerbaijan, Festival Day in Montserrat, foundation of the Congolese Labour Party in the Republic of the Congo, New Year's Eve all over the world. In some countries, well, we'll give you an idea of all the countries who have celebrated New Year's Day already as the program progresses. We'll come back to that, but it's also Republic Day, as we said, in the Congo, Omisoka in Japan, Hogmanay in Scotland, and in Shintoism, they observe at this time, on this day, Omisoka. It's New Year's Eve. Where are you? What's happening where you are? Would love to hear from those of you who are located in places of the world where New Year's Day has already kicked in. All the countries that have already celebrated New Year's Day. If you're in any of those countries listening to us right now, would love to hear from you. And we look forward to your messages. The text line, 876-365-3346. The email address, both sides, 106@live.com. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number. The WhatsApp number and the text line are the same, which means you can send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, and you can call us directly on the WhatsApp line as well. That number is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Skype, Instagram, LinkedIn, BBM, Yahoo Messenger, Tango, WhatsApp, Snapchat. We're being told that Samoa and Kiribati were the first to welcome 2021. Samoa and Kiribati, S-A-M-O-A, Samoa, Kiribati, K-I-R-I-B-A-T-I, the first to welcome 2021. Those Pacific Island nations of Samoa and parts of Kiribati, first places in the world to welcome 2021, leaving behind a year which was marked by the COVID-19 pandemic and its effect on society. It takes 26 hours for all time zones to reach the new year. 26 hours before all time zones reach the new year. And as we said, Samoa and parts of Kiribati are in the world's farthest forward time zone, which is 14 hours ahead of UTC, putting them at the same time as Hawaii, except the date is 1 day ahead. This means that when it turned Friday in Samoa and Kiribati, it was still Wednesday in places like American Samoa. Kirimati, which is part of Kiribati and which is also known as Christmas Island, is perhaps the best known among the two. Kirimati, home to nearly 6,500 people, used to be one of the last places to welcome the new year until it skipped a day in 1994 to use being first as a tourist draw. So that was purely for tourism purposes. For the 9th time, people in Samoa were also among the first people in the world to welcome the new year. The country changed its time zone at the end of 2011 by moving to the west of the international dateline and make it easier to do business with Australia and New Zealand. The unique group of countries lost a member in 2017 when Tonga ended daylight savings time after just 1 year. Tonga also observed daylight savings time from 1999 until 2002, a move that was sparked by its desire to be among the first countries to welcome the new millennium. New Zealand's Chatham Islands and its nearly 700 people hit midnight just 15 minutes after Samoa and Kirimati, making it the second earliest place on Earth to ring in the new year. The first major city to welcome the new year, Auckland in New Zealand, at 6 o'clock this morning Eastern time. That's Jamaica time, 6 o'clock this morning. That's when New Zealand started ringing in the new year, along with Fiji, Tonga, and parts of Antarctica. But perhaps the most unique way to welcome the new year is aboard the International Space Station, where astronauts have 15 opportunities to celebrate as they circle the globe at 17,500 miles per hour, which is the equivalent of 28,163 kilometers per hour. The official time at the space station is in UTC or GMT. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic means that many New Year's Eve events obviously have been canceled. One of the biggest events in the world will be taking place in Sydney, where a massive fireworks display will take place over the famous Harbour Bridge and Opera House. That would have happened already, I would imagine. Another major event to take place at the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. The world clock at the United Nations in New York in 1969 is also pictured in this story, which is on BNO. So that's a quick update on how the rest of the world and what are the countries in the rest of the world celebrating, which have already celebrated the new year. And let's see if we can add some more to the list. Yes, Australia would have, well, we're looking at some spectacular pictures here. The New Year's Eve fireworks erupting over Sydney's iconic Harbour Bridge and Opera House. What a spectacle. And the streets of Sydney were, however, empty despite the city's annual epic fireworks show at Harbour Bridge. City officials implemented strict COVID-19 restrictions in hopes of thwarting crowds and containing the spread of the virus. New Zealand, as we said, rang in 2021 already, and they did so with a fireworks show on the Auckland Harbour Bridge, which is a double celebration of sorts, because New Zealand is enjoying COVID-free status. There is no known, no confirmed case of COVID-19 in Australia, I beg your pardon, in New Zealand right now. None. And perhaps we should be ringing them up to find out from them how they did it. Yeah, New Zealand. No, they welcome 2021 without a COVID-19 case. They have been enjoying COVID-free status for some time now. Yeah, we need to give them a call. Japan has already celebrated Japan, which also cancelled celebration plans. Provincial Governor Yuriko Koike instead urged residents to emphasize life over fun. Did you hear that? All the people who are having parties in Jamaica and going out on yachts to Maiden Key and Lime Key, and those in rural and urban centers who have been partying, the provincial governor of Tokyo in Japan, Yuriko Koike, told and urged the people of his province to emphasize life over fun. Life over fun. Because, and I'm taking it a step further now, without life, the fun done. Without life, the fun is finished. With life, well, you can have fun until you can't manage anymore. Without life, the fun done. No more fun. So let us secure life so we can have fun can done, to put it in Jamaican parlance. Right. In terms of their cases, though, there are 1,337 cases in the city of Tokyo, exceeding the 1,000 mark for the first time since the start of the global health crisis. China was next in line. Their annual light show was cancelled, but thousands of people in Wuhan, where the COVID-19 outbreak originated, celebrated by releasing balloons into the air. In fact, it was on this day, back in 2019, that information was announced in relation to COVID-19 in Wuhan, China. Also ringing in the new year already, Taiwan, the Asian country, kept to a theme of love to bring in 2021, cheering frontline medical workers in its fireworks bonanza in the capital, Taipei. The 5-minute show used 16,000 fireworks and included red and blue hearts. Just thought we'd fill you in with the global celebrations. Hello to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those of you tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you would have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We thank you as well if you've dialed one of the two designated numbers to listen to Power 106 FM from the UK and the USA. And we say hello to those of you watching us on Facebook Live, on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and affiliated pages. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVANMALCOLM, and you'll be able to not just hear, but also see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. Looking forward to your thoughts, your comments on this, the final day in the year 2020. Your opportunity to have your say in that regard. What are your thoughts on this, the final day of this leap year 2020? This is the 366th and final day of leap year 2020. And we look forward to your thoughts. 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. As we said, did we say we're live on YouTube as well? Yes, we're live on YouTube, the Dervan Malcolm YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube, youtube.com, and you're not seeing the video trending, Just in the search box on YouTube, type DERVANMALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. And you don't have to have a YouTube account or some other pass, as is the case with Facebook. So over to you.
sign for Auld Lang Syne.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
We started this afternoon with the poetry of Alfred Lord Tennyson, In Memoriam, Ring Out Wild Bells. In case you missed it, ring out wild bells to the wild sky, the flying cloud, the frosty light. The year is dying in the night. Ring out wild bells and let him die. Ring out the old, ring in the new. Ring happy bells across the snow. The year is going, let him go. Ring out the false, ring in the true. Ring out the grief that saps the mind. For those that here we see no more. Ring out the feud of rich and poor. Ring in redress to all mankind. Ring out a slowly dying cause and ancient forms of party strife. Ring in the nobler modes of life with sweeter manners and purer laws. Ring out the want, the care, the sin, the faithless coldness of the times. Ring out my mournful rhymes, but ring the fuller minstrel in. Ring out false pride in place and blood, the civic slander and the spite. Ring in the love of truth and right. Ring in the common love of good. Ring out old shapes of foul disease. Ring out the narrowing lust of gold. Ring out the 1,000 wars of old. Ring in the 1,000 years of peace. Ring in the valiant man and free, the larger heart, the kindlier hand. Ring out the darkness of the land. Ring in the Christ that is to be. In Memoriam, Ring Out Wild Bells by Alfred Lord Tennyson. And then we matched that with Auld Lang Syne. It's a poem by Robert Burns and one of the best known songs in English-speaking countries. Although, like many other frequently sung songs, the melody is better remembered than the words, which are often sung incorrectly and seldom in full. The song is commonly accompanied by a traditional dance. The group who are singing form a ring holding hands for the first verse. For the second verse, arms are crossed and again linked. For the third verse, everyone moves in to the center of the ring, then out again. The song's name is in Scots and may be translated literally as Old Long Since. So if you want to translate Auld Lang Syne literally, Auld, A-U-L-D, Lang, L-A-N-G, Syne, S-Y-N-E. If you're translating that literally from Scots to English, it's Old Long Since, or more idiomatically correct, long ago. Long ago. Some people have translated it as for old time's sake, or days gone by. In his retelling of fairy tales in the Scots language, Matthew Fitt uses the phrase in the days of Auld Lang Syne as the equivalent of once upon a time. In Scots, syne, S-Y-N-E, is pronounced like the English word sign, S-I-G-N. Burns's verse is taken exactly from Songs from Robert Burns, published in Great Britain by Collins Cleartype Press in 1947 and sold at Burns's cottage. Most traditional use of the song involves only the first verse and the chorus, with the last line changed to "and days of Auld Lang Syne." The first two lines of the lyrics seem to be an allusion, although perhaps not consciously intended, to Isaiah 65, verse 17, which reads, "Behold, I will create new heavens and a new earth. The former things will not be remembered, nor will they come to mind." So who was Robert Burns? Robert Burns was a Scottish poet, born in 1759, died in 1796. He was a Scottish poet and a lyricist. He is widely regarded as the national poet of Scotland and is celebrated worldwide. And you know there's a Jamaican connection, right? Here's the Jamaican connection. On the 27th of November, 1786, Robert Burns decided against emigrating to Jamaica. So he had plans. He had planned to come to Jamaica. He had planned to come to Jamaica, to emigrate to Jamaica. But he went to Edinburgh instead. Robert Burns was in financial difficulties, and to make enough money to support a family, he took up a friend's offer of work in Jamaica at a salary of £30 per year. The position that Burns accepted was as a bookkeeper on a slave plantation here in Jamaica. Burns was against slavery, and so he did not accept the job. In fact, in 1792, Robert Burns wrote a poem entitled "The Slave's Lament." He apparently wrote the poem while pondering his trip to Jamaica to become a bookmaker for a slave trader. So Robert Burns wrote The Slave's Lament, but one of his most famous works is, of course, the poem we have been sharing with you, "For Auld Lang Syne," which literally means "old long since." It has long been put to music, and so every New Year's Eve, "For Auld Lang Syne" is usually sung or played. Burns is still beloved and celebrated today. Robert Burns's fans around the world celebrate his birthday on the 25th of January with rowdy ribald dinners of haggis and other Scottish delicacies. Robert Burns, Scottish poet and lyricist, born on the 25th of January, 1759. So the lyrics, for those who are not quite clear, here goes. Should auld acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should auld acquaintance be forgot and auld lang syne? And this is Burns. We're giving you Robert Burns's words. The chorus: "For auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne. We'll tak a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne. And surely ye'll be your pint stoup, and surely I'll be mine. And we'll tak a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne. We twa high run about the braes, and pound the gowans fine. But we've under the money and weary fit sin auld lang syne. We twa high pidled in the burn, fry morning sun till dine, but seas between us bride high road sin auld lang syne. And there's a hand, my trusty fier, and guy's a hand o' thine, and we'll tak a right good willy vaught for auld lang syne." Yeah, those are the original lyrics. Now translated to English, it reads thus: "Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and old long ago, so long ago, old time's sake? For auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne, for old long since, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne. And surely you'll pay for your pint cup, and surely I'll for mine. And we'll take a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne. We too have run about the slopes and pulled the daisies fine, but we've wandered many a weary foot since so long ago. We too have paddled in the stream from morning sun till dine, and dine there means dinner time, but seas between us broad have roared since Auld Lang Syne. And there's a hand, my trusty friend, and give us a hand o' thine, and we'll take a right good-will draught for old time's sake. Now you know the lyrics, if you didn't pay attention to them before now. But just to continue to illustrate how significant this poem put to music, Auld Lang Syne, is, it's usually sung each year on New Year's Eve, Hogmanay in Scotland, in the United Kingdom, the Republic of Ireland, the United States, Australia, New Zealand, and English-speaking Canada at midnight, and it signifies the start of a new year. In the United Kingdom, it is played at the close of the annual Congress of the Trades Union Congress. Also, in many Burns clubs, it is sung to the end, and in fact, to end the Burns supper. It's used, this same song, Auld Lang Syne, and by the way, the version you've been listening to is by Dougie MacLean, D-O-U-G-I-E, and his MacLean is spelled M-A-C-L-E-A-N. I think so. I'm not looking at it now. D-O-U-G-I-E, M-A-C-L-E-A-N. I believe so. So that it is used as a graduation song and a funeral song in Taiwan. It is used as a graduation song and a funeral song in Taiwan, symbolizing an end or goodbye or a goodbye. In Japan, too, it is used in graduation, and many stores play it to usher customers out at the end of a business day. Before the composition of Aiguga, the lyrics of Korea's national anthem were sung to the tune of this song, Auld Lang Syne. In the Indian Armed Forces, the band plays this song during the passing out parade of the recruits. In the Philippines, it is well known and sung at celebrations like graduations, New Year, and Christmas Day. Also, before 1972, it was the tune of the Gami Salam anthem of the Maldives with the current words. In Portugal, France, Spain, and Germany, this song is used to mark a farewell. It is also used in the Scout movement for the same purpose, but with lyrics that are a little different. It has also been used on other occasions as a farewell. One occasion that falls in this category was in October 2000, when the body of former Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau left Parliament Hill in Ottawa for the last time, going to Montreal for the state funeral. The song is also the official corps song for the Kilties Drum and Bugle Corps. The tune to which Auld Lang Syne is universally sung is a pentatonic Scots or possibly Northumbrian folk melody, probably originally a sprightly dance in a much quicker tempo. The English composer William Shield seems to quote the Auld Lang Syne melody briefly at the end of the overture to his opera Rosina. This may be its first recorded use. The contention that Robert Burns borrowed the melody from Shield is, for various reasons, highly unlikely. They may very well both have taken it from a common source, however, possibly a Strathspey called The Miller's Wedding or The Miller's Daughter. The problem is that tunes based on the same set of dance steps necessarily have a similar rhythm, and even a superficial resemblance in melodic shape may cause a very strong apparent similarity in the tune as a whole. For instance, Robert Burns's poem Coming Through the Rye is sung to a tune that might also be based on Miller's Wedding. The origin of the tune of God Save the Queen presents a very similar problem, and for just the same reason as it is also based on a dance measure. Whatever its source, The Auld Lang Syne tune has been used all over the world in various contexts. We'll share a couple of them before we conclude our expose on this New Year's Eve favorite, Auld Lang Syne by Robert Burns.
Should old acquaintance be
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
sign for old lang syne, dear, for old lang syne.
Yes, indeed. And you notice you're not hearing any commercials because all the contracts are up, right? So we are at $0 right now. Zero. Right. Just to conclude though, whatever the Auld Lang Syne, the tune, as we said, has been used all over the world in various contexts. For example, the University of Virginia's alma mater, the Good Old Song, and the anthem of Alpha Kappa Psi, the largest professional business fraternity in the US, are both sung to the tune of Auld Lang Syne. In Japan, the Japanese students song Otaru no Hikari, Glow of a Firefly, uses the Auld Lang Syne tune. The words are a series of images of hardships that the industrious student endures in his relentless quest for knowledge, starting with the firefly's light, which the student uses to keep studying when he has no other light sources. That's like Pinewali in Jamaica. As noted above, well, the melody is also played in many stores shortly before closing time to signal to the customers that it's time to leave the store. The tune is used for the Dutch football song, We houden van Orange, We Love Orange. That's the Dutch football song, We Love Orange. And this is the tune that they use. In France, the melody is used with French words, and the parting song is entitled Ce n'est qu'un au revoir. Ce n'est qu'un au revoir. You have to run it on. Jeez. Ce n'est qu'un au revoir. This is only goodbye, not farewell. Ce, C-E-N apostrophe E-S-T, qu'un, Q-U apostrophe U-N, O-A-U, revoir. And that's how you say goodbye in French, by the way. Au revoir, au revoir. Right, so ce n'est qu'un au revoir. This is only goodbye, not farewell. In Denmark, the song is known by the Danish 1927 translation of the song entitled Skuldgammel Venskab Rein Forgo. Also, former Danish rock group Gasoline popularized the melody in 1974 with their pop ballad Stakkels Jim. Poor Jim. Stakkels Jim. I think we'll leave it there for now. That's enough of the history for you. The history of Auld Lang Syne. And here's a reminder that all things being well, this is where we'll be spending New Year's Eve at Power 106 FM. We'll be partnering with the Webster Memorial United Church. That program starts at 10 o'clock tonight and will end just after midnight, just after the countdown. We hope you'll join us, especially for those who perhaps will not have access to social media, and there's a significant population of those who are accustomed to listening to the radio. So that way everybody is included. So you'll be getting a sense of the celebration of the new year right here on Power 106 FM. And that program starts at 10 tonight, Eastern Standard Time, and goes until midnight. We've been going for a while now, and there are a ton of messages that we need to clear. Oh, dear. Where do we start? So many messages to clear. Let's see. We have to start somewhere, right? Let's start here. Let's start here. Mike, that's Balti in Baltimore. Robledo, Black Pearl, Michelle, Randy Harding. Happy New Year to you and your family. Big up every time. Dorel McKennis says, hi, Dervan. Season's greetings. Wishing you and all listeners a blessed and prosperous 2021. Please stay safe. You too, Dorel McKennis. Erlene Lewis uses the hashtag Happy New Year 2021. Happy New Year to you too, Erlene Lewis. Oliver Samuels says, wow, amazing. I'm not sure. I don't think I think I don't want to call him the other Oliver Samuels, but he's a real person. Yeah, this Oliver Samuels. He says, wow, amazing. Guess they are extremely disciplined in reference to news that New Zealand is celebrating the New Year COVID-free. Can you believe that? COVID-free. Robledo Black Pearl Michelle says, happy New Year to the both sides family. Special shout out to Mr. Coombs. Nicola in Mandeville, Manchester says, remember to say happy birthday to the individual who turns 99 today. That's easier said than done, Nicola, because I'll first need to remember on which platform was that message sent asking us to convey happy 99th birthday. Can we find it? Yeah, that's always the thing. There are so many platforms, eh? Maybe should have made a note of it for sure. No doubt about that. Hopefully we'll find it before the program is through. Was it from somebody by the name of, was it Chambers? Chambers. Was it? So many of them online. All right, we'll see if we can find. Did we make a note of it somewhere here? Let's see if we can find that. Let's see if we can find it later or before the program is through. But definitely not remembering which platform that was on yesterday. Thank you anyway, Nicola. Faye Weller says, blessed afternoon, everyone. To you too, Faye Weller. Althea Bernard says, hi, Mr. Dervan. Good afternoon. I would like to wish you, my family and friends, a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Althea Bernard. Norman Hines says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan, Malcolm, and listeners. To you too, Norman Hines. Brad Bent says, Happy New Year to my sweet Jamaica and all there in God, and all therein. God bless you all. Maria Buchanan, hello to you as well. Quincy Brown in the Cayman Islands is on board. Thank you for joining us, Quincy. Lots more messages to clear as well here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. It's the New Year's Eve edition. Jennifer Stewart says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Happy New Year's Eve to you, sir, and my family and friends. Same to you, Jennifer. Paul Peart says, good afternoon to everybody and a happy 2021 when it comes. Same to you, Paul Peart. Thank you very much. And let's see who else is messaging us on this New Year's Eve. Let's see. Going through Alan Camila. How are you? Thank you very much for tuning in. Quincy Brown in Grand Cayman says, Happy New Year's Eve to all my Caymanian and Jamaican family and friends. Thank you very much. Same to you, Quincy Brown in Grand Cayman. All the very best to you. Thank you. Taking more of your New Year's greetings, your thoughts on this, the last day of 2020. Have your say on this, the last day of 2020. 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Al Green on YouTube, on the Dervan Malcolm YouTube channel. Al Green says, good day, Mr. Malcolm. Big up to all Jamaicans and all Spanish Townians in particular. Big up all the farmers all over, says Al Green. Happy New Year to High Commissioner Alun Dumbe Asamba, CEO of COK Sodality. Happy New Year when it comes, she says, and to your listeners. Thank you very much, High Commissioner Asamba. All the very best to you, your family, your COK family, your PNP family, etc. Because, of course, she is the legal advisor. I believe that's a title, legal advisor to the opposition leader. I believe, yes, because of course she's an attorney at law, right? So it's easy to forget, right? Those of us who know her as the CEO of COK and High Commissioner, Jamaica's High Commissioner to London. Yeah, she wears a few hats and also served as a member of Parliament. And that was, don't tell me, that was Foggy Mullings' seat. Is that the same Northeast? Not Northeast, Southeast St. Ann, isn't it? I think so. I think it's the same Southeast St. Ann. And what was I? Yeah. And she also served as tourism minister. Quincy Brown says, greetings to Michaela Simpson, a.k.a. Coffee, from Spanish Town. Such a positive example for our youths. Big up Princess of Reggae Music. Oswald Smiley, good to see you online. Thank you very much for joining us. Balti in Baltimore says, Dervan, Happy New Year when it gets here, and continued success to you and all both sides of the Story family. Blessed love and thanks, Balti. Thank you very much, Balti in Baltimore, for your message. Keep those messages coming in. And hello to our friends from the Jamaica Awareness Association of California, the JAAC, led by their president, Patrick Williams. They're sending us lots of New Year's messages online. That's what we're seeing here. Thank you very much. And the very same to you. Thank you. Thank you. Also coming through at this time. There's another key that has been closed. Pigeon Key. Where is that one? Well, same place off Jamaica's southern coast for sure. So it's Pigeon Key, Lime Key, Maiden Key, all under lock and key. All under lock and key. Pigeon Key, and that key, when we talk about Pigeon Key, Lime Key, Maiden Key, that key is spelled C-A-Y. So Pigeon Key, Lime Key, Maiden Key, under lock and key, K-E-Y. Lock and K-E-Y. Let's come back with more, and looking forward to your feedback as well on this, the last day of 2020.
For old lang syne, dear, for old lang syne. We'll take a cup o' kindness yet for days of old lang syne. We twa
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock.
and put the gowans fine, but we've wandered many we've fet since days of old lang syne. And we twa pedaled in the barn frae morning sun till dawn.
Happy New Year to Ralston Hyman when it comes. We're going to share some numbers. When we think of the numbers, we think of Ralston Hyman. So we're going to share some numbers with you that we got today from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica with respect to the gross domestic product. That essentially has to do with how much the country earns, if you want to put it in, for the third quarter, which would be the July to September 2020 quarter. And as in keeping or in line with the projections, there was a decline in gross domestic product, the total output of all goods and services here in Jamaica, a third quarter decline of 10.7% compared to the third quarter of 2019. So that's significant. 10.7% decline in the third quarter of 2020, the July to September quarter. Here are the factors. Well, goods producing industries in the red, minus 3.5%. The services industries in the red, minus 13.1%. In terms of the services industries, producers of government services up 0.1%. Real estate, renting and business activities down minus 2.8%. Finance and insurance services down minus 5.6%. Electricity and water supply down, that's minus 7.0%. Wholesale and retail trade minus 8.1%. Transport, storage and communication, so another significant drop, minus 4.8%. Other services minus 27.0%. Hotels and restaurants, and this is dramatic, as we all know, a dramatic drop, minus 65.2%. That's quite a hit, isn't it? In terms of goods producing industries, mining and quarrying down minus 20.7%. Agriculture, forestry and fishing up 2.5%. Althea Mackenzie would know that. She is the darling of agriculture, all things agriculture in terms of broadcasting. So agriculture, forestry and fishing up 2.5%. Construction, no surprises here because you can see it all around. Construction up 7%. Manufacturing down minus 10.9%. These are the numbers released by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, with respect to gross domestic product, the total value of all goods and services, the July to September 2020 third quarter. That wasn't the only one they published today. They also published, where is it? Is this one? No, that's the one we just gave. There's another one. Here we go. I think this is it. The Producer Price Index Bulletin. That's another one released today. The Producer Price Index, which shows in the category of mining and quarrying industry. And this is highlights for the month of November, 2020. Mining and quarrying industry, the monthly change, November 2020, 1.1%. Point to point, as in November 2019 to November 2020, minus 3%. Still on the Producer Price Index, manufacturing industry, the monthly change, 0.0%. The point to point figure is 0.4%. That's point to point November 2019 to November 2020. Now the actual stories, let's see. So the Producer Price Index for the mining and quarrying industry increased by 1.1%, while there was a negligible increase in the index for the manufacturing industry. And the story goes on. You can also always visit statinja.gov.jm so you can go through the numbers for yourself. How about that? Yeah, check that out. And there was another bit of, what was the other bit that we said we were going to share with you, our faithful listeners at home and abroad? We have it here somewhere. We'll get to it. We will get to it. In the meantime, let's continue to take your calls and your feedback, your messages. 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. More messages have come in since the last time we checked. Let's clear them. We read this one already. Let's jump that one. Read this one already. Lady Jean in Monique St. Anne says, hi, Durban, greetings. Please, if time allows, give us a bit of the New Zealand story on the COVID situation. Thanks. Love you. Blessings. Thank you. Will do, Lady Jean in Monique St. Anne. Lorraine says, good afternoon, Sir D. Happy New Year when it comes. May the Lord continue to guide and protect you always. One love, my friend. One love to you too, Lorraine Brown. And Michael Howell says, thank you. Thank you, Michael Howell. All the very best. Thanks for joining us. Let's pull up the New Zealand story right now. And as per Lady Jean's request, just a moment. All right, so, and it wasn't just yesterday, so to speak, or last month, because the first time the story broke was on the BBC on the 9th of July. The 9th of July. And the story asks the question, the headline, how did New Zealand become COVID-19 free? In late June, 2 cases of coronavirus were confirmed in New Zealand. When many countries are registering thousands of cases a day, 2 seems little to worry about. But until that point, New Zealand had gone 24 days without a single case. So these linked to quarantine breaches were enough to lead to the resignation of the health minister. Did you hear that? on account of the fact that New Zealand had in late June 2 cases of the coronavirus, two confirmed cases, and you would think 2. That's excellent. The health minister resigned. The health minister for New Zealand resigned. Because up to that point, New Zealand had gone 24 days without a single case. And these 2 cases were apparently linked to quarantine breaches. And the Minister of Health took responsibility and resigned on that basis. Boy, we would take that situation any day. 2 out of the 24. Anyway, let's get back to the story. So next question. When did New Zealand bring in border closures? On the 2nd of February. A man in the Philippines became the first person outside China to die of COVID-19. At this point, there were no reported cases in New Zealand. But the next day, New Zealand began banning entry to any foreigner coming from or via China. Any New Zealander returning from China had to isolate for 14 days. So because on the 2nd of February, a man in the Philippines became the first person outside China to die of COVID-19. And at that point, there was no reported case in New Zealand. But Jacinda Ardern, Jacinda, Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, wasn't taking any chances. And she didn't. The following day, she announced the banning of entry to any foreigner coming from or via China. Any New Zealander returning from China had to isolate for 14 days. And so as of midnight on the 16th of March this year, everybody, including New Zealanders, had to go into self-isolation on arrival in the country, unless they were coming from the largely unaffected Pacific Island nations. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said these were the strictest regulations in the world for which she would make no apologies. Doing this early on with only over a few thousand cases worldwide at the time allowed them to basically stop the influx and stop the community transmission, according to Professor Martin Burka, an economist at the country's Massey University. New Zealand locked down early and aimed for elimination. In late March, to prepare the public for a rapidly changing situation, New Zealand introduced a new 4-stage alert system. Based on existing wildfire alerts, it would clearly indicate the current risk and the necessary social distancing measures. The system began at level 2, but on March 25th, it had risen to level 4. That triggered a total nationwide lockdown in New Zealand, with only essential services running and everyone told to stay at home in their bubble. At that point, New Zealand had recorded only 102 cases and no deaths. When the UK locked down at around the same time, it had more than 6,500 cases and more than 330 deaths. The UK has never closed its borders, but brought in mandatory self-isolation for all arrivals in early June. This was lifted for some countries by early July. The UK government has said it brought in the right measures at the right time based on scientific advice, and that border restrictions would have a negligible impact while there was already significant community transmission. Are you taking note of the contrast? The World Health Organization has praised New Zealand for acting quickly, holding it as an example to other countries.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Every morning sun till dawn, but seas between us, great Hillwood since days.
Also in New Zealand, as we try to get a sense of how it is they became COVID-free, Professor Burker said that as the public started to feel the economic impact, many started questioning the value of the lockdown, especially as case numbers dropped. But while police did charge hundreds of people for lockdown breaches, the policy had high levels of public support. Polls showed more than 80% of people backed the government's actions. Elimination achieved, but can it be sustained? The story goes on. On the 8th of June, Ms. Ardern, the New Zealand Prime Minister, announced that with no new community transmissions in 17 days and all patients fully recovered, we are confident we have eliminated transmission of the virus in New Zealand for now. The lockdown was lifted and everyday life is now almost entirely back to normal with some social distancing, but the borders remain closed to foreigners. And again, this story, listeners, this is a BBC story from the 9th of July, 2020. How did New Zealand become COVID-19 free? And we gave the date there just to indicate how long it has been since New Zealand became COVID-19 free. So let's give you the very latest. So the very latest is that COVID-free New Zealand rings in New Year with 2021 fireworks, bidding adieu to tremulous, bidding adieu to tremulous 2020. Tremulous. Shaky, timid. Shaky or timid. Bidding adieu to tremulous 2020, New Zealand became one of the first countries in the world to welcome 2021, and the island nation, which does not have any COVID-19 infections, rang in the new year in style with a display of fireworks. New Zealand is about 2 hours ahead of Sydney in Australia, and it usually welcomes the new year with a fireworks and light show, something that it managed to do this year as well, despite the COVID-19 pandemic. And with no COVID-19 cases reported on the island nation, Kiwis, that's the term used to describe, to refer to New Zealanders. Kiwis, as New Zealanders are called, could enjoy the display of fireworks on the Auckland Harbour Bridge with no COVID-19 cases reported. Those in New Zealand could enjoy. And if you follow cricket, New Zealand, I think they just beat Sri Lanka the other day, a couple of days ago, and their cricket match, the test match, was played like a regular test match with spectators all around. Yeah. Contrast that with South Africa, where they have been hosting. They're hosting. Am I mixing up the teams? No. Let's do that again. New Zealand are hosting Pakistan, They're hosting Pakistan in a test series, right? And New Zealand just won. They just beat Pakistan. South Africa are hosting Sri Lanka. And whereas in New Zealand, they have spectators like a normal cricket match would have, in South Africa, no spectators. And the other matches in Australia, they're having, I think they too have spectators at their cricket matches. Well, the most recent, the second of the test matches, which India won, beating Australia handsomely. Yeah, so that's the story. I'm trying to find more for Lady Jean and Monique St. Anne with respect to New Zealand being COVID-19 free. And there's even an arrangement. There's even an arrangement with Australia. There's an arrangement with Australia. New Zealand and Australia have agreed on quarantine-free travel bubble. Quarantine-free travel bubble. And the story is that New Zealand has agreed to a quarantine-free travel bubble with Australia in principle. The country's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said trips under the agreement could begin early next year. However, the much-anticipated deal will depend on the COVID-19 situation in both countries remaining as it is now. Travelers from New Zealand have been allowed to enter most Australian states without quarantine since October. And where is it? Yeah. So far, though, this has been a one-way agreement, meaning they must do 14 days of managed isolation on their return to New Zealand. And there's a story of how Melbourne's lockdown crushed a second wave of the virus. Let's see. And there's also the story that New Zealand will give free coronavirus vaccines to residents and neighboring nations. New Zealand has purchased 2 new coronavirus vaccines from pharmaceutical companies, AstraZeneca and Novavax, giving the small island country the ability to vaccinate its 5 million residents. Government officials also announced that they would go a step further and provide free doses to its population, as well as neighboring islands, Tokelau, Cook Islands, Niue, Samoa, Tonga, Tuvalu. And Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said during a news conference that the effort would be the country's largest immunization rollout ever. So we're just picking a few of the stories which speak to New Zealand's success in managing the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah. Hope this is sufficient, Lady Jean and Monique St. Anne. That's as much as we have right now with respect to New Zealand being COVID-19 free. Right. I was just looking if there were any further updates. Yeah, not seeing any additional information. So we'll leave it there for now. Well done, New Zealand. Let us learn I mean, every country is different, obviously, but surely there are some things we could learn from New Zealand. A lot of things, actually. Let's go to the phone lines 876 922 4112, 876 922 4113, 876 922 4114, and 876 922 4115. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Durban. How are you?
I'm giving thanks for life, and you?
I am giving thanks myself, and I wish for you and your listeners a wonderful 2020 whenever it comes. 21, sorry, whenever it comes.
Thank you.
Durban, I am, however, calling about a situation that I'm concerned about. Now, I'm a regular commuter from Kingston. Now, I'm going to try and give you the information based on where the location is. Now, you know, the Caymanas crossing.
Yes, that's on
Right.
Of Mandela.
Of Mandela, right.
Yes.
Now, I am aware that they built this place, I believe it's called Aki Valley or Mango something,
Yes.
on the road to Portmore.
Yes.
But why are the people being allowed to return to the sides of the road? And I notice that people are coming and it is one after the other. And then they have these little things that they're putting up there. The authorities need to do something about it to ensure that these people go in the area that is designated for them to sell in.
Yes, that is something we don't do very well in Jamaica. So the Portmore Municipal Corporation came out very strongly in providing an area for them to ply their trade, to sell their wares, and they perhaps feel that they're not getting enough patronage there, so they decide to take their goods and go on the front line. So it obviously is up to the Portmore Municipal Corporation to do something about that.
It is a very sad reality to do it on Durban. Because, you know, just passing, and every time you pass, it's like it's a new set of persons coming. And sooner or later, they are going to return to what used to be. They need to do something about it before it gets out of hand.
Yeah. Well, we don't know if the mayor is listening, but if he is, or any one of the Portmore Municipal Corporation, the Portmore, that they would take the necessary steps to cauterize that situation before it gets worse, before it gets back to what it used to be.
I hope they do. I really do hope they do.
Yeah.
I am going to try, because I didn't know whether or not it was St. Catherine or
Yes.
Portmore Municipal Corporation.
Yes.
But now that you're advising me, I am also going to give a call to the Portmore Municipal Corporation.
Yes, Leon Thomas is the mayor.
Leon Thomas. All right.
Yes.
Thanks very much, Durban.
Thanks.
And
Mhm.
bless you and your listeners. And welcome to 2021. Giving time.
Thank you very much. Happy 2021 to you when it comes as well. All the best. Take care.
All right. Good evening.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. And let's see who else is messy. Oh, Happy New Year to Oliver Mayer, Jamaica's Consul General based in Miami, Florida, with responsibility for about 13 states, I believe, or more. And let's see. Travis the Gifted Hansen says, good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year. All the best for 2021. Durban, there was also a statistical study earlier this year, I think, where it showed that countries with women at the head of its government handled the COVID-19 pandemic better than countries governed by men. Yes, we have shared that story here as well. I would go further to wonder why so. While you wonder, we need to take a break, Travis.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:30.
Harlem Uptown says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Harlem Uptown. All the very best. Thank you very much for tuning in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Let's see. Sophia Nemard, good afternoon to you. Gray Shim says, Happy New Year. Walk good into 2021. Thank you very much, Gray Shim. All the best to you as well. And there are some other messages we missed. Michelle Lee Hing says, Hi, Sir D. Here is an update about the little boy from Denham Town. He got the implant and it was turned on the 29th. He can now. This is such a marvelous gift in such a time as this. Thanks to you and all the people who made this possible. That's great news, Michelle Lee Hing. Thank you for that update. Happy to have been able to play a part in ensuring that that young man is able to hear again. Wonderful. Great. That's I think it's called a cochlear implant. I think that's that much I remember. Happy to hear that worked out. Let's go to the text line, which is the same as the WhatsApp number. There's a direct call coming through. Hello. Hold on, Miss Olive. It looks like just a moment, please. Just a moment. What's happening here? Let's do this and make sure we can hear Miss Olive. Go ahead, Miss Olive. Greetings.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my internet. Something. I tried to call you on the internet thing and I'm not getting through. No story. Anyway, that's beside the point. I just wish all of you people out there from Power 106 and beyond, Happy New Year when it comes. I'm getting ready now to go to watch evening service, not watch night. We're starting at 5:30 and finish at 6:30. 5 o'clock and finish at 6:30. So, and then we zoom in at midnight to do the countdown thing. So I just want to wish you all a very prosperous new year, and let's pray that this nonsense with this killing and stealing and carry on will stop. Durban, it is getting out of hand, or it has gotten out of hand, and I'm only hoping and praying that these men and women who are robbing people in taxes and all that will stop it, go get a job, go get a life, and stop killing off people who work the money all them life for them to hold them up and take it to Durban. It is very, very scary. Anyway, wish you all again all that is good, and we catch you in the new year. Okay? God bless you.
Bless you too, Miss Olive. All the best.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Good afternoon to Quincy Brown, tagging everybody here, it seems. Tagging Sandy Hill, April Cummings, Donna Bush, Kevin Morales, Quincy BCG Brown, Rishima Raghunath, Wendy Ledger, all Cayman Islands journalists, Quincy Brown tells us. Norma Boyce is watching from London. Hello, Norma Boyce. How are things in London? Quincy Brown says, good afternoon. Locked into this, your final broadcast for 2020. Wayne Golding Sr., CD, Commander of the Order of Distinction, and discretionary member of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council based in Central Florida, is greeting us. He says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan Malcolm. We are so grateful to have seen another year and hope to see and enjoy the next. We're truly thankful for all the great memories you have helped us create as we continue to navigate what is to come without fear, because we're truly blessed and fortunate. Happy New Year to you, the family and listeners. We reciprocate wholeheartedly. Wayne Golding Sr., same to you and your family. Thank you very much. B. Jew says, good afternoon from upstate New York. I'm relaxing with the family this weekend for New Year's, a chilly 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Stay warm, B. Jew. Hi to Jorvilia and Mr. B as well. Audrey Smith says, good afternoon, Dervan and listeners. Happy New Year's Eve to all. We're now in Tier 4 in Southampton. We're getting the second vaccine, AstraZeneca, which has been approved on Monday. The health secretary is hoping that 2 million people will be vaccinated every week. Looking forward to your program next year. So take care, everyone, and take care. Happy New Year, all. Thank you, Audrey Smith in the UK, in Southampton. Happy New Year's Eve and happy 2021 when it arrives, says B. Jew in New York. Diana Salmon, good afternoon to you too. Thank you for tuning in. Who else is messaging us? Randy Harding, Happy New Year to you as well. And all the others who are messaging us right now here on both sides of the story. Jacqueline Simmons says, Happy New Year to you too. Jacqueline Simmons, thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. As we continue to stream live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. Gaveth Peterson says, good afternoon, Dervan. Happy New Year when it comes. Thank you, Gaveth Peterson. Same to you and yours. Teresa Coombs Blake says, Happy New Year, Dervan, from Teresa in Kennesaw, Georgia. Well, hello to you and all the other Jamaicans in Kennesaw, Georgia. Teresa Coombs Blake. Ricardo Porteous in Glengough, St. Catherine says, Happy New Year when it comes, and the rest of the staff at Power 106 FM, and to all the listeners from across the world. Thank you, Ricardo. Beverly Robinson says, Happy New Year, Mr. Malcolm, to you and all the staff of Power 106. More blessings. Thank you, Beverly Robinson. All the best to you and yours. Thank you very much for tuning in on this New Year's Eve edition of both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still giving you an opportunity, if you care to call, to share with us your thoughts on this, the last day of 2020. We also have been meaning to share with you some new appointments. Let's share with you a couple of new appointments as announced by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Let's see. So the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, has announced the appointments of new Jamaican heads of mission in Mexico, India, and Belgium. And who shall we start with? Let's go, first of all, let's go to the release here. These are familiar faces I'm looking at right now, and well-deserved appointments. Let's bring them up. Here we go. So here's the news. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, has announced the appointments of new Jamaican heads of mission. And let's tell you who they are. Going to Mexico, Ambassador-designate Sharon Saunders. Congratulations to Ambassador Saunders, who will be going to Mexico. She's a career diplomat. She has been a member of the Jamaican Foreign Service for more than 38 years and is presently the Undersecretary with responsibility for the Diaspora, Protocol, and Consular Affairs Division in the ministry. Her previous assignment included that of High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago, with multiple accreditations in the Caribbean, Deputy High Commissioner at the Jamaican High Commission in London, and Minister Counselor in the Embassy of Jamaica in Brussels, as well as permanent mission and permanent mission to the ACP and EU. Congratulations to Ambassador Saunders. Well-deserved. Ambassador-designate Sharon Saunders to be dispatched to Mexico. High Commissioner-designate to India is Jason Hall. High Commissioner-designate Jason Hall recently completed his tour of duty as Jamaican ambassador to Mexico. Prior to that assignment, he served in both public and private sectors for more than 26 years and has significant managerial experience in marketing, tourism, business development, and public relations. His previous roles included Deputy Director of the Jamaica Tourist Board, management roles at Jamaica Freight and Shipping Company and JAMPRO, and more recently, he served as Vice President of Marketing at Supreme Ventures Limited. Ambassador Hall holds a master's degree in marine policy, as well as a postgraduate diploma in marketing and training in modern diplomacy. Well done. Congratulations, High Commissioner-designate Jason Hall, heading to India. Ambassador-designate Simone Betten Nayo. Or is it Neo? Nayo? Somebody will tell me soon. N-A-Y-O on the face of it, Neo. Could be Nayo as well. Maybe Neo. Let's go with Neo. Ambassador-designate Simone Betten Nayo. I wonder if she's related to Dr. Audley Betten. Chances are, considering that that name is not a common one in Jamaica. Mrs. Betten Nayo, or Neo, is a career diplomat with more than 25 years of service. She's currently the director of the Trade Agreement Implementation and Coordination Unit in the Foreign Trade Division of the ministry. She has served as Minister Counselor at the Permanent Mission of Jamaica to the United Nations and its specialized agencies in Geneva, and the Embassy of Jamaica and Mission to the EU in Brussels, respectively. Congratulations to her as well. Ambassador-designate Simone Betten Nayo is on her way to Belgium. All the very best to these newly appointed ambassadors designate and High Commissioner designate. And in particular, congratulations. We have to single out Ambassador designate Sharon Saunders because we have had the pleasure of working with Ambassador designate Sharon Saunders. And she will continue to shine, no doubt about that. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Let's see. Let's go to the most recent messages that have popped up. Did we miss a call from Aunt Pearl? We missed a call, Aunt Pearl. Please feel free Feel free to call back, Aunt Pearl. Missed a call from you a short while ago. Well, feel free to call back. In the meantime, we continue with more here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. The Gleaner is reporting that Grenada, let's come back to that in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
And surely you'll be
Grenada has
I'll be mine.
her first as a country, her first female attorney general. First female attorney general. She is Dia C. Forrester Gelino. Dia, as in day, Spanish for day. D-I-A, Dia C. Forrester Gelino. Gellineau. She is the first woman to be appointed to the post of Attorney General since the first Attorney General was appointed in 1763 when Grenada became a British colony. Here's Aunt Pearl on WhatsApp. Hello. Let's turn down that radio or turn it off.
Wait, hold on. Oh, turn off the radio for me. Quick. Turn it off. Yes. Devon, here I am. Oh, my God. I'm wishing you and your staff, all who work with you, a very happy New Year when it comes. I want to let you know that you are our teacher, my teacher, and it takes me 92 years to know how that song went. 92 years and I never know why. But we are that it as a farewell song. That's number one. I can't tell you how much money, but I want to thank you all. And there are special people quick that I want to thank God for. I love them, and that's Ras Carver, Miss Olive, a gentleman that wants to go back to Africa, one of them. When Miss Olive and Ras Carver, they made me day. I love them. And I want to let Miss Olive know I'm praying for her. I love her, I'm praying for her. And I would like to talk to Ras Carver. I am 92, so I'm not a fear. 92 years old. But I want to say too, just let the nation know we have a big God. It's bigger than what you call it. You can't call it good, so you call it COVID, what it means.
COVID.
Our God is bigger than that. And we are the warriors of prayer, are asking God to have mercy. And He will have mercy. That this nation be not just fearful, but to trust the true and living God. And we have some warriors, some old people like us, who ask God to help us, and He will not make things worse for us. And I want to say, Happy New Year to you, Devon.
Happy New Year, Aunt Pearl.
Happy New Year to those who work with you. Happy New Year to those who call you. Oh my God, so much of them. May the Lord bless and keep you all. Oh, may the God of heaven bless, and that we have no further COVID in future. God bless you.
Blessings.
Love you all.
Lots of love to you too, Aunt Pearl. Take care. All the best.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. That's one of our regular listeners who hardly ever calls the program. And there's no better day than a day like today. The last day in the month of December, which is the last month in this leap year 2020. What a thing. What a thing. Let's give you some more updates in terms of trending stories before we take some more of your messages. We see Dr. Dwayne Dice. All the best to you, Dr. Dwayne Dice. Dr. Dwayne Dice is the convener, the leader of the Jamaica Diaspora Education Task Force, and he continues to do a remarkable job. Well done. Well done to you, Dr. Dice. Thank you very much for all you do in service to Jamaica, land we love. Thank you very much. Take care. Clearing some more of the messages. 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. Those are the numbers to call. Feel free to message us on our text line, which is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Skype, Instagram, LinkedIn, BBM, Yahoo Messenger, Tango, WhatsApp. We're all over. Looking forward to hearing from you here on this final program of 2020, the last edition of Both Sides of the Story for 2020, which means this is the 254th edition of Both Sides of the Story here on Power 106 FM, edition number 254. And so it is. That's the information. And on this, the last day of 2020, and these won't be the final numbers. We won't have those numbers until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. But just of note is the fact that this last day in 2020 is marks 296 days since the first confirmed COVID-19 case in Jamaica. Today is the 296th day since the first confirmed COVID-19 case in Jamaica. And today also marks the 288th day since the first COVID-19 death in Jamaica. And while we're on the subject of COVID-19 deaths, none to report within the last 24 hours, but the figure is at 302. 302 people have died from COVID-19 in Jamaica since the start of the year. And for what it's worth, 64 more people have recovered from COVID-19 within the last 24 hours, bringing to 10,383 the total number of recoveries. 61 people are in government-administered quarantine facilities. 29,129 people are in home quarantine. 84 people have been admitted to hospital on account of COVID-19. 7 of those patients are moderately ill, 8 of them critically ill. Please visit moh.gov.jm for more information. 34 newly confirmed cases within the last 24 hours as well. Let's continue to build up our immune system. And yeah, we know the right foods, what we should be feeding ourselves. Yeah, we know what those are. We don't need any schooling on those. By now, we all know what is good for us in terms of nutrition. So let's, and to build our immune system. Let's do that. Let's continue to do that. Let's continue to wear our mask, wash and sanitize the hands as often as possible. And let's remember as well to maintain our physical distance of at least 6 feet. Other stories trending right now. Johnson hails UK's freedom moment as EU era draws to close. Boris Johnson has said the UK has freedom in our hands and must make the most of it as the country prepares to leave the EU trading rules. At 2300 hours GMT, that sounds like 6 o'clock this evening Jamaica time. 6 o'clock this evening Jamaica time, or Eastern Standard Time. And historic changes to rules on travel, trade, immigration, and security are to come into force as the UK enters a new era of relations without the continent of Europe. We will see how that all unfolds. As far, among other things, that will change at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 11 o'clock tonight, UK time. Free here, these are among the things that will movement of people between the UK and EU countries will end. Free, the word there, free. Free movement of people between the UK and EU countries will end, to be replaced in the UK by a points-based immigration system. A points-based immigration system. So there's going to be a visa application process, skilled workers, global talent scheme, international students and graduates visiting the UK, EU citizens living in the UK by the 31st of December 2020, crossing the UK border, all of that information. This points-based system will treat EU and non-EU citizens equally and aims to attract people who can contribute to the UK's economy. Irish citizens will continue to be able to enter and live in the UK as they do now. New arrangements for EU citizens will take effect on the 1st of January 2021. That's tomorrow, once freedom of movement with the European Union has ended. So that's one of the things that will change. Anyone from the UK who wants to stay in most of the EU for more than 90 days in any 180-day period will need a visa. Duty-free shopping will return, with people coming back to the UK or going back to the UK from the EU able to bring up to 42 liters of beer, 18 liters of wine, 4 liters of spirits, and 200 cigarettes without paying tax. EU citizens wanting to move to the UK, except those from the Irish Republic, will face the same points-based system as people elsewhere in the world. UK police will lose instant access to EU-wide databases. The police in the UK will lose instant access to EU-wide databases on criminal records, fingerprints, and wanted people. Traders in England, Scotland, and Wales will have to complete more paperwork when dealing with EU countries. Traders in England, Scotland, and Wales will have to complete more paperwork when dealing with EU countries. More in a moment.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
A hand, my trusty fear, and gaze a hand o' thine, and we'll tak correct, get well walked for all of life's sign. For old lang syne, dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet, for old lang syne, for old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne.
Que ora es en espagnol. Son las 4:01. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:01. 现在几点了？4点01分. A minute past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Good afternoon to Angela in Toronto, Canada, who has joined us. Welcome. She says, good afternoon. Wishing you all a happy, healthy, safe, and prosperous new year. Thank you, Angela. Many happy returns. And she has shared with us the usual numbers coming out of the province of Ontario, which is reporting more than 3,300 COVID-19 cases today, a jump of nearly 400 over yesterday, and the highest number of deaths since May the 12th. Sorry to hear of those numbers, Angela, but please continue to be safe. Inez Campbell-Brown says, good afternoon, Mr. Durvan and viewers. Just want to take the time out to wish everyone a healthy, successful, and most of all, a safe 2021. Peace and love, everyone. Thank you very much, Inez Campbell-Brown in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Thank you for your message. We see Nicola is with us still. Nicola in Mandeville, Manchester. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story. Audrey Smith in the UK is still on board. And we were sharing with you some of the changes that will kick in at 6 o'clock this evening, Jamaica time, 11 o'clock in the night, UK time. And that's, what's the other one? Oh, we shared with you that UK police will lose instant access to EU-wide databases, and that traders in England, Scotland, and Wales will have to complete more paperwork when dealing with EU countries. Unlike the rest of the UK, Northern Ireland will continue to follow many of the EU's rules, as its border with the Irish Republic remains all but invisible. And the UK will gradually be able to keep more of the fish caught in its own waters, while the European Court of Justice will cease to have any role in deciding disputes between the UK and the EU. So those are some of the changes to come. Those are some of the changes to come in terms of the relationship between the European Union and the United Kingdom. So that's the main story on the BBC trending right now. Also, Gibraltar gets UK-Spain deal to keep open border. That's a related story. Spain has reached a deal with the UK to maintain free movement to and from Gibraltar once the UK formally leaves the EU. Tonight, UK time, this evening, Jamaica time. To avoid a hard border, Gibraltar will join the EU's Schengen zone and follow other EU rules while remaining a British overseas territory. The deal was announced by Spanish Foreign Minister Arantxa González Laya just hours before the UK exits the EU. That's so Gibraltar apparently voted in 2016, voted remain, as in to remain in the EU in 2016, and about 15,000 Spanish workers go there daily. So that's another of those. And let's see if we can give you an idea of some of the. All right, we're trying to bring up one of the stories also trending at this time. Let's see. According to what's this? Misinformation about coronavirus vaccines is spreading. Oh, okay. So CNN is encouraging people to get the facts. Georgia Republican senator to quarantine just days ahead of runoff is one of the trending stories on CNN, on the CNN app right now. And there are other stories. Early voting in crucial Georgia runoff surpasses 2.5 million. Another story, why Republicans are worried about Georgia runoff election. And Trump's tweets and actions put Georgia Senate GOP senators on defense. Let's see if we can share with you a little more on this matter in just a moment. It's loading. Here we go.
In Georgia today, as final frenzy of campaigning just 5 days before next week's crucial Senate runoff election, CNN has learned Republicans are concerned about Democratic turnout in early voting. Residents are facing long lines at the early voting polls. More than 2.8 million votes have already been cast in Georgia for these runoffs. Georgia's lieutenant governor is slamming President Trump and his allies over their efforts to prevent election certification next week for Joe Biden, calling it damaging, calling it a sideshow. CNN senior national correspondent Kyung La is live for us at a Republican Get Out the Vote concert in Gainesville, Georgia. Kyung, what are we learning about Republican concerns right now?
Well, it's something you hear publicly at events like this, but we had been hearing these rumblings for some time. And my colleague Ryan Nobles has now spoken to two different sources who has looked at GOP data and analysis of early voting. And the consensus is from those sources is that they are increasingly concerned about how Democrats have been doing in early voting. We have seen these lines outside Democratic strongholds and Democratic districts, and Republicans say now their data matches what they are seeing. And so they need a tremendous turnout on election day. Is it achievable? Well, those GOP sources are saying, yes, they do believe that they can get that early, they can get that turnout on election day. And they believe one thing that will help, Jake, is President Trump showing up the day before the runoff election.
There's an update for you for those following those elections in the election in Georgia. Yeah, that's the update for you. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Another story that just popped up. Let's see, from the Washington Post. And the news is that the stock market is ending 2020 at record highs, even as the virus surges and millions go hungry. The S&P 500 gained more than 16% in 2020, a strong return in a year of steep job losses and widespread pain. The U.S. stock market is ending 2020 at all-time highs, enriching the wealthy and capping off a soaring comeback despite a deadly pandemic that has killed more than 340,000 Americans and left millions jobless and hungry. The S&P 500 index, the most widely watched gauge, is finishing the year up more than 16%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and the tech-heavy NASDAQ are on track to gain 7.25% and 43.6% respectively. All three indices touched record levels this week, despite the ongoing public health and economic crises. Wall Street's resurgence has been fueled by the largest federal government stimulus ever, historic support from the Federal Reserve, and optimism about how quickly the economy is likely to bounce back next year as coronavirus vaccines become widely distributed. Investors have largely ignored the ongoing pain on Main Street, including pronounced unemployment, overrun hospitals, and battered small businesses. On the eve of the new year, nearly 10 million people remain out of work, a jobs crisis worse than anything seen during the Great Recession. And there are other stories that you can read in that respect. Medical centers balk at COVID-19 treatment that aims to keep people out of hospitals. President Trump called the monoclonal antibodies he received for COVID-19 unbelievable. But hospitals already strained by the pandemic are having trouble dealing with the challenges of administering the drugs. And the story goes on. And there's a look back at some of the key moments during this pandemic. So it's the last day of 2020 and an opportunity for you to express yourselves on this last day of 2020. What would you like to say? What would you like to share? What would you like to express? 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. How will you be spending New Year's Eve? And be careful how you respond, because then that might be information that the police would find useful, as we have seen with respect to a Jamaican DJ who is, we're told, accused of breaching the Disaster Risk Management Act. And there's a summons out for that individual. Let's go to the phone lines, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hi there, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
This is Miss Shirley.
Miss Shirley, thank you for calling.
You saw me one time out by the fire station in Waterford.
Yes.
Yes, and I went out there and saw you. Hi there, everyone. I want to say I
Miss
thank
Shirley, you're of Indian descent?
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I always call dear pastor.
Yes.
Yes. Dear everyone, I just want to thank you all, Power 106. And I want to thank you all for your company. I don't call, but I listen to you every day as long as I'm awake.
Happy to hear that.
Yes, and anytime you're on, tonight I'll be on listening too. And I thank you very much. As I said, teacher, I acknowledge you as a real teacher for you.
Thank you very much. I'm humbled.
Yes, and I want to say thanks to Power 106, even the music, they play good music to cheer us up. And I wish everybody, all the callers, I know plenty know me by my voice. So I wish all the callers and one grandma. I don't hear her this long time.
Which one of them?
In St. Anne's.
Oh, yes, that's true. Grandma one.
Yes. I used to call her to, we used to talk, but her phone seems,
Yes.
not working. Some of the
We're up on a break. Would you like to hold or leave it there?
No, I just want to say many thanks and I wish you all the best for the new year.
Thank you, and the same to you and your family.
Yes.
Take care.
Thank you, Devon.
Sure. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Is yet for old lang syne. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet for days of old lang syne.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:16. 现在地点了4点16分. 16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework? All right, young people, never mind. Yes, we know you're on a holiday. This is New Year's Eve. And but you know what we always say, even when school is out, homework is always in, because homework is about preparation, and proper preparation prevents poor performance. And as we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Let's go to the phone lines. We have a call coming through on the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sir Dean. How are you doing this afternoon?
I am giving thanks for life. And you?
Well, life is great. Giving thanks for life too, under the circumstances. It's good to be alive and back in Jamaica again. Not looking forward to going back home at my second home. Vacation is wrapping up and finishing up my work on the house, but I'm enjoying myself so far.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know that you're enjoying it. So you still have a few more days to go. Is that it?
Yeah, I have about 5 more days to go, but I'm not counting them down like I'm counting them down when I'm coming home.
I quite understand. Well, how much have you been able to do in this restricted environment?
Well, most of the stuff that I'm doing is I have the material here at home. So I've been able to get a lot done in terms of, what I'm doing. I'm leaving, doing some painting right now. I'm, doing some tile work on my step and, stuff like that. But I'm the only one here. My family is at the upper house. I'm at the lower house. So my food is served to me through the gate on the quarantine and all the social distancing and stuff like that. But I'm enjoying it. This is Jamaica, so it is really nice to be back home.
Well, it's good to have you back home. Anybody you'd like to say hi to as we round out 2020?
Well, I just want to say I'm hoping that 2021 is going to be a better year than 2020 in terms of violence and crime all over the world, not just Jamaica, because people make it seem like Jamaica is bad and we're not that bad. I come home every December, and I don't see anything wrong with coming home. So people all over the world, please come to Jamaica. This is the place to be in Christmas. You're going to be safe. You'll be happy. There'll be a lot of fun. Only because of the corona, there won't be that much partying going on. But believe me, come next year, it's going to be a lot of fun going on down here.
We have no doubt about that. We trust that those who are listening are taking heed and will recognize that this is not the time for partying. We're trying to manage this pandemic.
Correct.
And we need all hands on deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just have to stay safe, listen to the government, listen to everyone, social distancing, wearing your mask, and all of that, and it will get better in the end. Us Jamaican always want to party, but we just have to take heed right now and come together and work with the authorities and get it done. So as I said, it's going to be a better year next year, but this year was a good year. I came home and I'm doing what they told me to do. So I'm home 14 days, and my 14 days is going to be up in another 5 days. But as I said, if I quarantine for 30 days, I'd rather quarantine for 30 days here than 30 days in America. Yes, sir. I mean, I love Jamaica that much.
Yeah, we know. Well, it's great to hear from you. We thank you very much for touching base, and just want to wish you peace and love and safety and all the prosperity that 2021 has to offer.
And same to you and your listeners. And I'll tell you what, I'll give a shout out again to your station. The moment I came down, I had turned my radio to your station. It's on there day and night. It never left. And you guys play some great music. I go to bed listening to it, and I wake up listening to the nice lady talking about the farms and agricultures and stuff like that. And music comes on, and then here you comes at 2 o'clock. So the programming is really good.
Yes. Happy to know you're enjoying it.
I am. All righty. Well, stay safe, and hopefully I will talk to you before I go up, or after I go up, I'll give you a shout out.
No problem. Always a pleasure.
All right. Thank you again, everyone. Take care.
You too. Happy New Year when it comes. This is your...
Same to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And for those, if you're not election weary as far as America is concerned, then you might want to take note of what we're being told by Forbes magazine, that betting odds show Georgia Senate races now too close to call after Republican lead evaporates. The future makeup of the U.S. Senate has grown more and more uncertain as 2020 draws to a close. According to odds makers, as the once sizable lead the Republican candidates had in election betting odds has shrunk significantly. Here are some key facts. Democrat Raphael Warnock is now favored to defeat Republican incumbent Kelly Loeffler. according to Predicted Odds, after overtaking Loeffler on Wednesday for the first time during the runoff campaign. The odds between the two are extremely tight, with Warnock having less than a 51% probability of winning as of 2:30 this afternoon. Republican U.S. Senator David Perdue is given a better chance of winning, but his chances are sliding quickly. Predicted showed Perdue with 59% odds this afternoon of holding off Democrat Jon Ossoff, down from 71% odds of winning on December 21st. Odds makers still expect Republicans will win at least one of the seats and thus retain control of the Senate. But those odds are also tightening. Predicted put the chances at around 60% this afternoon, down from over 70% in the days before Christmas. In a release, United Kingdom-based betting site Guesser.com said that the races are now too close to call, and 538 founder Nate Silver said Wednesday that the races are as close to a toss-up as you can get. And we're being told of a crucial quote. Whilst the GOP candidates hold favoritism in the market, the odds clearly show a state undecided, and we're expecting lots of betting activity in the coming days as the runoff goes to the wire, according to a Guesser.com spokesman. A surprising fact, Democrats hold a lead for both seats in traditional polls, with the Real Clear Politics polling average showing Warnock ahead by 1.8 percentage points and Ossoff up by 0.8 points. Big number, 104,527. That's how many voters have cast their ballots in the Senate runoffs that did not vote at all in the presidential contest last month, which was decided by a margin of only around 12,000 votes. In all, more than 2.8 million Georgians have already voted in the runoffs, according to GeorgiaVotes.com, which tracks state voting data. And some key background information: the results of the Senate races in Georgia will determine which party controls the Senate for the first 2 years of President-elect Joe Biden's term. Democrats will need to win both of the seats to secure a 50-50 split with Republicans in the Senate, with Vice President-elect Kamala Harris serving as a tie-breaking vote for Democrats if needed. Georgia, over the past few weeks, has become the center of a political firestorm, with President Donald Trump baselessly claiming he was robbed of a win in the state through rampant voter fraud, a claim top Republican officials in the state have repeatedly denied. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp has urged Republicans to distance themselves from Trump's outlandish claims ahead of the election, saying Wednesday that the president's tweets about Georgia are a distraction, including a call for Kemp to resign from office. And there's a story closer to home but connected to the U.S., that we wanted to share, and this is from the Observer. The 4 Jamaican fishermen detained by United States immigration officials, despite being cleared by a Florida court of drug charges, should be home, and I believe they are home. They arrived in Jamaica they were scheduled to arrive in Jamaica sometime after midday today. The U.S. Ambassador to Jamaica, Donald Tapia, yesterday told the Jamaica Observer that efforts were being made to get the men on a flight and have them home as soon as possible. And yesterday, I was told that they should be home within 48 hours. This morning, when I had the person in my office. I had questions, so he was in my office at 8:15. He had assurance that within 48 hours they should be home, should be here. So it could be tomorrow, as in today, said Tapia. The only thing that could slow it up, well, there's no slowing down. They're here, as far as I'm aware. And we'll tell you some more in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Ambassador Tapia will end his tour of duty here in Jamaica as U.S. Ambassador on the 12th of January, 2021. And so let's get to the story. If you missed the story with respect to these 4 fishermen who are back on Jamaican soil now, the saga of the 4 fishermen was put on the front burner on Monday by attorney at law Bert Samuels, who represents them. Samuels told the media that the men were arrested by the U.S. Coast Guard in October after it was alleged that they were found with 150 gallons of liquid cocaine on a boat registered in Jamaica, the Lady Lawler, which was destroyed by the Coast Guard. But the matter was thrown out by Judge Chris McKay. Now, let's get this name right. It looks... Makalili. Makalili. Looks like Makalili. Judge Chris Makalili, unless there's a silent letter in there. But Judge Chris Makalili of the Southern District of Florida, U.S. District Court, on the basis, the matter was thrown out by Judge Chris Makalili of the Southern District of Florida, U.S. District Court, on the basis that there was no evidence of a find of liquid cocaine and that instead it was merely gasoline which had been misidentified as such. The men were then transferred to U.S. immigration, where they have been held since then, despite being found not guilty. And that was from October. And the story goes on. No doubt we'll have more and we'll hear more in the major news at 5 as to all that would have transpired in that story. Here's a message coming in. Happy New Year. When it comes to all peace, may we learn to respect the sanctity of all lives. This is coming from Joan. Thank you very much, Joan, for your message. And there's a message we have which would like to share with those who live in the approximately 775 communities in Jamaica. But in particular, well, first of all, congratulations to those who, as members of a community, have been able to keep their communities safe. Keeping their communities safe. We want to salute those who have been able to keep their communities safe and to encourage them to keep it that way. And those who are not there yet, we hope with the help of the security services and importantly, every single citizen within your community will recognize the value in keeping your community safe. Think about it. There's a thing called peace of mind. When you're able to move in and out of your community without fear that because of some feud within the community, there are all kinds of reprisals, etc. Think about how less productive you would be because you're at work and your mind is not there because you're wondering, how are you going to pass community X later on with all the war that is going on? And then the children are home and you perhaps call them every second, especially if your community is an unstable one. If we don't do anything else in 2021, let us work towards making our communities safer. If our communities are safer, Jamaica will be safer. It stands to reason. It's the 775 communities in Jamaica are part of the fabric of this society. But think about it. If your community is safe, it means as an investor, I won't have to think twice about investing in your community. If your community is safe, then it means people in the community can benefit, especially when, well, since we're in COVID-19 times now, once this pandemic has been brought under control, like it has in New Zealand, once we have the New Zealand effect in Jamaica, going forward, it means that if your community is safe, it means that those of us who have houses in these communities, who have homes in these communities, can add these homes to the list of Airbnb properties here in Jamaica. Air, bread and breakfast, Airbnb. Yeah, think about it. Because before COVID-19, I'd been hearing of a lot of Airbnb properties and accommodation. Let's say Airbnb accommodation. A lot of Airbnb accommodation was in Trenchtown. And no doubt inspired by the fact that Bob Marley would have spent a significant period of his life, some people would argue the most significant period of his life, in Trenchtown, and that those who would have booked through Airbnb to stay in one of those accommodations in Trenchtown wanted to have the Bob Marley experience of Georgie would light the fire, you know, and we would drink cornmeal porridge. So they would imagine being able to sit in Trenchtown, in a government yard in Trenchtown, and to take a selfie or to have your picture taken, eating porridge, cornmeal porridge, and posting that all over and using that Bob Marley quote to say, hey, you know, like Bob Marley, drinking porridge in Trenchtown. Just think about it. It's an experience. It's part of why people travel. It's for the experience of a people, their culture, their practices, their history, their heritage, etc. So the safer the community, the better for everybody. The safer the community, the better for everybody. So the target must be to make our communities safer in 2021 and beyond. Make our communities safer in 2021 and beyond. That is what we're humbly suggesting that we concentrate on, making our communities safer in 2021. And I don't want to say too much more on that because there are some security and safety issues in the mix, but those who understand would have an appreciation for this kind of thinking of making our communities safer. It's going to inure to the benefit of everybody in the community if the community is safer. Remember, there are those of us, there are communities in Jamaica who do special, like those who do, what was I hearing about? What, jerk? Was it jerk chicken neck and back, or something to that effect? Which is seen as the poor man's dish in a number of communities, and being able to, that's an experience. And if you have as part of your offering that jerk pan setup in it could be Trenchtown, it could be anywhere for that matter, but that would be treated like some kind of delicacy. There are other examples. Some people might say better examples, but the idea is make your community into a place of curiosity, where people will want to visit. People will want to visit your community because there are elements of your community, or there are features of your community that are enough to arouse people's curiosity, not just those of us right here in Jamaica, but from all over the world. There are people, for example, who grew up in certain communities and they are accustomed to going to a certain barber shop within that community. So much so that even when they move out of the community, whenever they need to get a haircut, they drive or ride or walk or whatever the case may be back to that community to get their haircut. Now, if there are flare-ups of violence in such a community, then people are not going to want to go back to the community. People are not going to want to, as much as one might enjoy going to that particular barber shop. As the words from one of the Jamaican songs, "War a gwan down the lane, me nah go down there." Yeah, nobody wants to go there when there's a war happening in the community. You think your community benefits from a war in your community, of animosity in your community? And if you do, then it means you are missing the very meaning of the word community. That is what is missing in more ways than one. Community, a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. A group of people living in the same place. Now, if we're going to live in the same place, we have to learn to live with each other. And we're going to have to give and take here and there, because that's what a community is about. The idea is you're pretty much free to do whatever you want to do, as long as that freedom does not infringe on another person's freedom. But some of us are not able to function in that space of a community because we want to be laws unto ourselves, as opposed to recognizing the value of members of the community. When you need support in your time of trouble, members of the community are able to assist. And the idea back in the day of what they used to call it, an example of that would be like a round robin, where you support a particular member of the community, having maybe adding on a room to the house or fixing whatever, and the community gets together and deals with it, and looks out for the children as well. Very important. The children are likely to be much safer if we operate as a community. Let's work towards that for 2021, shall we?
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
COVID-19 is still here, and we must continue to do all we can to keep our loved ones safe. Christmas is the season for having good laughs at the dinner table, meeting up with friends and family, and creating those memorable moments. In all the festivities, please don't forget to stay safe. Practice social distancing during small family gatherings. Always wear your mask, even when in the company of your loved ones, especially the elderly. Wash your hands frequently and connect virtually where possible. Family is everything. Create memorable moments at home and have a Merry Christmas. This was a message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Webster Memorial United Church invites you to its New Year's Eve watch party virtually on Power 106 FM with me, Dervan Malcolm. This Thursday, New Year's Eve, 10 p.m. to midnight. Music, readings, testimonies, messages, prayer, presentations, and dance. Countdown at midnight. This virtual broadcast of the New Year's Eve watch party of Webster Memorial United is brought to you by Webster Memorial United Church in association with Hypro, a division of Jamaica Broilers Group.
And surely you'll be a pine stood, and surely I'll be mine. And we.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And yes, you heard the promo just now. Another reminder that Webster Memorial United Church is hosting a watch party tonight. Before that, though, they have a service, watch night service, an early watch night service, which runs from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And members of the church family would know how that goes in terms of just who they need to check with to make sure that the members of the family, the church family, know who is coming and who is not, etc., so that they can manage the numbers as allowed under the COVID-19 infection prevention and control mechanisms. So there is that. There's the service, it will be streamed as well. It will be streamed live between 6 and 8. So everybody won't need to go to the physical space, although there would be more than adequate space for physical distancing within the church with a certain number of people. So bear that in mind. And then at 10 o'clock tonight, right here on Power 106 FM, we'll start bringing to you live coverage of or live streaming of the Webster Memorial United Church watch party. And that will be live streamed as well on their Facebook page, their YouTube channel, as well as, Facebook, YouTube. Am I forgetting any? Yeah, we'll be streaming. Please continue to wear your mask, sanitize, and practice physical distancing into 2021, it says here. So it will be live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and live here on Power 106 FM. So those who wish to have the Webster Memorial United Church Watch Party experience, listen to Power 106 FM from 10 o'clock to midnight tonight. From 10 o'clock to midnight tonight. And you will hear and you'll be able to experience the Webster Memorial United Church Watch Party. Listen out for that. Get ready for that coming up. But before that, as we said, the Webster Memorial United Church and other churches will be having services starting at 6 p.m. and ending at 8, giving themselves about 2 hours, depending on their location, to get home for those who can be accommodated at the service, to get home in time for the curfew hours. And then during those hours, it would the watch party will be streaming on live on Power 106, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, etc. Right? So make a note of that, and we'll have more to share a little later on. In the meantime, Yes, Wayne Golding, we have the story. Thank you very much. We did get the release, read the appointment of these ambassador, the ambassadors designate. Yeah, we did see it. Thank you for sharing nonetheless. But we did get a copy. We did get a copy, of the press release, and we shared it on the program earlier on. Thank you. Anyway, thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations once again to the ambassadors designate. Let's see here now. Another of the messages from Tyrone. Durvan Malcolm, I'm trying my best to not notice that you are a lefty. Really, Tyrone? It's called camera trick. It's camera trick, Tyrone, camera trick. I am not left-handed. It's camera trick. You're not the first to say that. You're not the first. If you're watching because of, it's just a function of the camera. Depending on where you're watching, it's a function of the camera why it appears that I'm left-handed, but I am not. So sorry to disappoint you. He says it may just be an insignificant thing, but for the fact that my wife is a lefty and my best friend is a lefty as well. No, sorry to disappoint you, Tyrone. I'm right-handed. Back to meaningful things, he says. Blessed New Year to you, yours, and fans across the diaspora when it comes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tyrone. Ruel Brown says, greetings and Happy New Year, brother Durvan Malcolm and all listeners. Thank you, Ruel Brown. Same to you and yours. All the best. Jones Dolores says, Happy New Year to you too, Jones Dolores. Harlem Uptown, Happy New Year to you. He says, Happy New Year, Savannah Lamar. That's where he's from. Travis the Gifted Hanson says, I once think Georgia thought of Georgia as a deep South state is pro-African American, only to figure out later that only its urban areas such as Atlanta, Augusta, Mason, Savannah, and Athens had pro-black populations. The rest of the state is pro-white, hence making it a pro-Republican voting state since it elected Jimmy Carter for president. Things are changing now. Now that more Democratic-minded persons are moving into the state, we all saw where counties such as Fulton, DeKalb, and Cobb made Georgia a close call when it elected Joe Biden on a very slim margin. Thank you, Travis. Thank you very much, Travis, for your message, and Angela and all the others. Did we miss a call? Oh, no, here we go. Nicola, we're just about getting ready to wrap. Nicola, is it from Nicola in Mandeville, Manchester? Hello.
Hi, Uncle Durban.
Hi, Olivia. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am fine, thanks.
Yes, Mommy would like to say hi.
Sure.
Hi, good afternoon. Just want to wish you all the best for 2021 and that the angels will continue to carry you, guide you, and protect you so that you can come back refreshed to continue the good work that you've been doing for your 25 years in broadcasting.
Thank you very much for your wishes and your regards. Thank you.
You and family.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you. Olivia is back with you.
Yes,
Uncle
Olivia.
Durban,
Yes.
I really am bored today, so I really wanted to entertain you, and I also wanted to wish you a happy belated Christmas.
Well, thank you very much. I'll receive it no matter how late.
And I would like to wish you a happy New Year's Eve.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you too. When it comes, I'm so sorry you've called us so late, close to the end of the program, and we have to wrap. Sorry you didn't call earlier on, but so it is. We still appreciate the call.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. How will you be ringing in the new year?
Okay. That's a very interesting question. I will be ringing in the new year starting with school because I have to go to face-to-face school starting January something.
Oh. Well, I'm sure your parents have been and your sister have been going through with you the protocols in terms of some of the things you do or do not do, or you should do or shouldn't do. So just continue to prepare and hope for the best.
Okay, but there's something that I need to get over because I have to go to school face to face for some hours, and I really don't like to wear my mask. I like to wear it, but sometimes I get fed up because when I'm wearing glasses, like when I breathe, the glasses foggy.
Yes. I know. But we're going to have to talk again another time, Ollie. Sorry you called us so late, but we're grateful for the call nonetheless. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Happy New Year to you too, and I hope you enjoy tomorrow.
Definitely. Looking forward. All the best.
Bye.
Bye. Happy New Year, Ollie. Take care. And that's it. Can we thank you for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. In fact, the final episode, the 54th and final episode, I beg your pardon, the 254th and final episode of Both Sides of the Story for today, the 31st and final day of the 12th month of this leap year 2020. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns next year. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm on behalf of Adrian Reed doing technical and production duties behind the scenes, wishing everybody a happy new year and encouraging you and inviting you to rejoin us tonight at 10 right here on Power 106 FM as we join the Webster Memorial United Church family for a watch party, and we'll be on from 10 to midnight. Till then, to those of you who perhaps will not be able to listen tonight, Happy New Year. To those of you who will be listening tonight, then we'll have more opportunities to wish you Happy New Year. Take care.
Take a cup, oh kindness yet for old lang syne.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
Deidran Gordon. Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines today, Thursday, December